you worry about the time it took. Just know that the bullets in the magazine enough to paint a comic book. Niggas all kinda shook. Round here, niggas bear enough arms and get compared to an octopus. Check out the pages of my comic book. Cannons get hand-drawn. Ain't nothing sketchy when you plot a jokes. A burning flame in this comic book. Everything could change. I turn the page in this comic book. Hey, yo, my city rotten. In a day of flower blossom when the sun fades. Every night it turn to Gotham, Batman and Robin. Not the heroes, but it happens when the op gets spotted. They whoop your ass and pat your pockets. Marvelous, everything real. Bitch, I never lied. Magneto lifting my arms to let the metal fly. All black Nina, call it black woman scorn. But it rain on you niggas, don't get caught up in the storm. Don't you worry about the time it took. Just know that the bullets in the magazine enough to paint a comic book. Niggas all kinda shook. Round here, niggas bear enough arms and get compared to an octopus. Check out the pages of my comic book. Cannons get hand-drawn. Ain't nothing sketchy when you plot a jokes. A burning flame in this comic book. Everything could change. I turn the page in this comic book. I'm not Peter Parker, so why do niggas think I hang with them? When every time they around, my spidey sense tingling. Bodies on ice for trying to be dead cool. Bodies in the water, that's how you make a dead pool. I bring carnage to these niggas, be an idiot. Dressed in all black, kinda looking like the symbiote. No matter if these niggas hating on me, I will never be a character erased from the story. Don't you worry about the time it took. Just know that the bullets in the magazine enough to paint a comic book. Niggas all kinda shook. Round here, niggas bear enough arms and get compared to an octopus. Check out the pages of my comic book. Cannons get hand-drawn. Ain't nothing sketchy when you plot a jokes. A burning flame in this comic book. Everything could change. I turn the page in this comic book.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use, for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance of the favor of fair use. Breaking news. I'm back. I told you I was going to keep you abreast. Now listen, the cost of groceries, how are you going to bring them down? This story is by Liam Odell from the Indy 100. The headline reads, Trump tries to explain how he'll bring down the price of groceries. And his answer should worry you. As President Trump continues to talk about the Gulf of America and buying Greenland, American citizens are rightly asking how all of this addresses far more pressing issues such as the cost of living. And that question has finally been put to Trump this week. Whether he actually answered the question is another matter entirely. It comes after Trump placed tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada last week, which could cost Americans more than it comes to items such as vegetables and electronics, before announcing a pause for the latter two countries. And on Sunday, in another push for his Gulf of America policy, the Republicans signed a proclamation inside Air Force One declaring February the 9th would be known as Gulf of America Day, as the aircraft flew over the ocean basin on the way to the Super Bowl. But before becoming the first sitting president to attend the renowned sporting event, Trump sat down for an interview with Fox News, in which anchor Brett Baer asked when families will be able to feel prices going down. Groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better? Trump replied, no, I think we're going to become rich. Now look, we aren't that rich right now. We owe 36 trillion. That's because we let all those nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like 200 billion with Canada. We have a 300 we have a deficit with Mexico, 350 billion. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. No, we have no clue either. The exchange has since been branded terrible and incomprehensible on Twitter X. Breaking as one follows. Breaking. In a stunning moment, Brett Baer just asked Donald Trump what he's doing to bring down prices for the American people. Donald Trump delivered an incomprehensible rant. This is terrible. The political commentator Brian Tyler Cohen claimed Trump had a part to play in such debt during his first administration. And it reads, Trump was responsible for adding a quarter of that debt in just his first term alone. And others have branded the president's response as a damning non-answer. They said he still thinks he's still on the campaign trail, rambling. All of this follows comments from Trump to Meet the Press earlier this week, in which he claimed he won the presidential election on the issues of the U.S.-Mexico border and groceries. According to somebody on X, Trump states that I won on groceries. Very simple word, groceries. Like almost who uses the word. I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We've got to bring those prices way down. The president made similar remarks on Friday when he said groceries was sort of an old-fashioned word, but the most accurate word to describe the problem. Yeah, that's a bit weird. And that ends that. That was quick, right? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The producer slides something across my desk. I must share. I must share. Breaking news. People are angry. More workers are forced out over DEI. Trump speaks at a town hall. Federal agencies have officially begun implementing President Donald Trump's executive order to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Dozens of employees, including those who attended diversity training under former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, have been placed on paid leave since the measure was put into place. Agency recently warned employees against disguising DEI-related activities under new labels, noting that it would be seen. Trump pumps his fist to the crowd. Brittany Holder, a spokeswoman for the American Federation for Government Employees, said, "People are worried. They are going to lose their jobs. People are worried and angry." Janet Petro speaks to the crowd. Petro. Acting NASA Administrator Janet Petro issued a memo urging employees to report disguised DEI activities, warning of consequences for noncompliance. The Office of Personnel Management, OPM, has been tasked with identifying relabeled DEI programs and expenditures. Petro wrote, "These dollars divided Americans by race, wasted taxpayer dollars, and resulted in shameful discrimination." The NASA administrator, Jim Bridenstine, watches as Janet Petro answers questions. Petro added that we are aware of efforts by some in the government to disguise these programs by using coded or imprecise language. If you are aware of a change in any contract description or personnel position description since November the 5th, 2024, to obscure the connection between the contract and DEIA or similar ideologies, please report all facts and circumstances. The Knox County School Superintendent visits kindergarten classrooms. Shira Smith, president of the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 252, claimed the actions aimed to intimidate workers into resigning. She said it looks like they're entrapping people because they encourage people to take these trainings. And now they are maybe using these trainings as a basis to put them on administrative leave. Lake grade teachers work with students. Smith added, "I think it's a shock and awe. They're trying to send us emails that make no sense and are super confusing to intimidate us, to make us run scared, so we quit." Teachers from surrounding districts. Smith stated that they're trying to make employees feel like they will soon get fired. And at the same time, they are trying to entice employees with an offer to pay them 8 months' salary if they just resign. So it seems as if you're choosing between affirmatively resigning, where they're saying you might possibly get paid 8 months' salary and benefits, or eventually get fired. This is written by Emily Prescott, and it covers U.S. politics and news for Modern Newsstand, LLC. Another thing just slid across my desk. This is amazing. Producers hold, this is it. I'm not talking about nothing else. Trump's accusations against South Africa sparked white privilege, self-mockery. Story written by Nellie Peyton of Reuters. Johannesburg. U.S. President Donald Trump attacks on what he alleges is South Africa's mistreating of its white minority are being met with mockery on social media by some white South Africans poking fun at their own privilege. Trump said last week that certain classes of people were being treated very badly in South Africa, referring to a bill signed by President Cyril Ramaphosa aimed at addressing racial disparities in land ownership. In land ownership. My bad. He then cut aid to South Africa and offered refugees resettlement in the United States to Afrikaners, the descendants of early European settlers, stating that they were victims of unjust racial discrimination. USA, USA, USA. Comedian Bower Bosch chants in a TikTok video as he tells a friend he's moving to the United States. Why did you get refugee status? His friend asks. 'Cause I'm white, bro, he responds, before adding that he will be back to his South African beach house in the summer to attend a golf tournament and go to the Africa Burn, South Africa's answer to the Burning Man Festival. In an Instagram video titled A Day in the Life of an Oppressed White South African, a woman lies yawning in bed. My husband bought me an iced coffee today because the most oppressive thing about this country is actually the sun, she says. South African born billionaire Elon Musk, who is now a key advisor to Trump, has amplified the president's attacks on South Africa, writing a post on his social media platform X last week that the country has openly racist ownership laws. In another Instagram video, South African Indian comedian Said Pillay plays the character of a white Afrikaner farmer applying for asylum in the United States who doesn't want to leave behind his black farm workers. I need to put in a special request. If I can please bring Scipio and Tanika with me, he says. South Africa's foreign ministry said on Saturday that Trump's executive order cutting aid lacks factual accuracy and fails to recognize South Africa's profound and painful history of colonialism and apartheid. 3 decades after the end of the racist apartheid rule, white South Africans who make up less than 10% of the population still own most of the country's farmland. Land reform policies since the first multiracial elections in 1994 have never involved the forced seizure of white-owned land. The mostly white-led Democratic Alliance Party, the top coalition partner in Ramaphosa unity government, opposes the recent land bill and has filed a court challenge against it. However, the DA also released a statement last week saying it is not true that the act allows land to be seized arbitrarily and that it does require fair compensation. Reporting by Nellie Peyton, additional reporting by Martin Vargas, editing by Joe Bavayer and Francis Curry. And that is the breaking news. And I'm done and I'm out of here. No more. I'm done. FAFO. Stay woke, y'all. See you later.
Think they better than, ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can drop the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine and make their world in, I'm going in the same dirt my ancestors buried in. I come from a god and a goddess, so what that make me? Not even Basquiat can trace me. Not even Van Gogh can paint me. The MC in me is the god of the sea. Equals the god in me. I'm focused in, let my mind be free. You too blind to see. The truth I give is real. It's been real. These ain't shots, they missiles. All you gonna hear is the whistle. Lyrically, it's the execution. My verses start revolutions. From my people seeking restitution. Since the beginning, fuck evolution. Or maybe my reality is all a dream. I put it together like I was sowing seeds. So it seems this is that audio dopamine. Go against the machine. We put you where nobody can hear you scream. And see you to meet your Elohim. My nigga, this is savage mode. It's something that you can't go. It started with a spark and I'ma let it explode. I was given the cheat codes. Better let me jump and reload. And go through them waves like a fucking torpedo. You dealt the cards of life. I just cut them diamonds with the ace of spades. Y'all scatter like roaches when they facing raid. Or vampires when they facing blade. I'm trying to get next to Shireen like I'm getting played. You still stuck as a mental slave. You still stuck in that mental cage. While I'm making easy money, pimping hoes in style. This my coming to age. Crowd roaring when I'm coming on stage. And when I'm done, they gon' be cheering my name. Great cops, and nah, I ain't quit my day job. I spit bars. I really rap on my day off. That's real shit. Just give you some tools you can build with. Aim high even if you still miss. Just keep going. It's a climb to the top, and I'ma keep flowing. Down Lake Shore, I'm Chicago going.